Dolphin on Hunbots, Off the Team on Nua, Heater on Jonquay, and Ecliptium on Apollo.
Making the way of the defunct side, the red team, Vicious and Delicious. Takane will be making up that solo lane on Ra. The Paradox will be playing that ADC Loki we talked so much about, supported by Chris Pocket's Bacchus. The Vicious and Delicious Adura will find his way into the middle lane on Agni, a little more aggressive this time around, while Fiddy plays Thor, taking it away from Skeledon.
Both teams on the left-hand side of the map, but Vicious and Delicious a little bit more grouped up. They can't really pick off an Agni or a Bacchus, as both, well, level their jump at rank 1, or at level 1, and will use it to immediately get away. So the Rambozos are just going to be able to drop their ward, and everyone's going to be able to recall, get their potions, yada yada. Looks like it's a standard start for both teams.
It's going to be a standard start. We see the three-man group up over here on the middle camps, most likely. And actually might be Skeledon. No, he's going to go ahead and take care of those mid camps as well, and we'll see them go right to the blue buff and then the lane.
Yeah, on the right-hand side, just prepping for these mid camps. Still 15 seconds out. And you know, the thing is, how is Loki going to do... Well, no, here's the question. What is Loki going to do differently from a normal hunter? Obviously, there's going to be things. And where does that start? Maybe it's Chris Pocket leeching some experience from these camps. You see that from time to time, but he's going to actually use his belly flop here. And, well, you know, with Loki's backstab bonus, they can clear blue buff fairly quickly, but I think they'll definitely need it if they want to stay afloat in the lane.
That's to say the least. One of the biggest downfalls for Loki is that he's just not ranged, Kret. That's one of the larger problems we see these teams come through when they pick alternative hunters. And like we said, Mercury has made you look with Golden Bow when he lanes, and that allows him to clear. Loki has Decoy, which is very good, but that is not... That's all the range he has. So if you, as the game goes on, he's going to be in precarious situations as he tries to clear.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he does have the invisibility and then clear, but then you use one of your escapes. Still have your ultimate just in case. On the left-hand side, Wubba's going to actually hog the creeps and damage on the Chris Pocket. Just from the throwback. Dash forward from Ecliptium, gets 2 autos. It's alright. There's not going to be that much. Fiddy on Thor, leaving lane a little bit early. We saw this from Skeledon on the last time, and Skeledon's going to follow into the jungle.
Thor is making his way downtown, looking for the wall onto off the team. Out comes just a Berserker Barrage, no stun. Doesn't even have the wall just yet. Hits one, not the double tap with the hammer, so not quite going to kill that off the team player. So he's going to be okay, making his way into the left-hand side, noticing that Wubba and his compatriot have pushed up very far. Still no wall, folks, so he's going to get mezzed out by the Kumbhakarna. Jump off by Chris Pocket. They're looking at Ecliptium. They want to make something happen here, folks. Good dash coming out, and Wubba makes Chris Pocket pay.
Fiddy's going to use his hog on the creeps, and that's not going to be up for... talk to. It'll be up in a minute, so that's fine. Just gonna clear off some creeps and get some pressure away. Goes for the double tap, doesn't find the hit. Picking up his speed buff with his mid laner just for safety. Skeledon remembers what happened to his opponent last game, and he really likes speed buff, so you know there's gonna be rotations. You know that his team is gonna be keeping that buff safe all game long.
Good clear coming out from this Hunbats in the middle lane. Off the team goes ahead and hits level 5. That's what Skeledon's looking for. Once the Hunbats hits level 5, Kret, he's a completely different beast altogether. Right now, he's a good monkey with some teleport and a good slow. Once he hit level 5, he is a team fight conundrum. That Fear No Evil is just incredible for ganks, incredible for team fights. And with this monkey level 5, everybody's got to be afraid of Skeledon.
Well, in the left-hand lane, Ecliptium's going to get aggressed on level 4, so it has to be respectful of the Paradox, who does have the Assassinate. Nice mez out from Wubba. Will interrupt the stealth. And, you know, honestly, I actually kind of like this matchup. Oh, new ultimate coming through on the right-hand side. Skeledon's going to get that kill onto Takane. Ra taken down. Gives the assist. Yes, assist to off the team, so second blood for Vicious and Delicious. But they lose both mid-camps for it.
Yep, let both mid-camps go to the red team, which is Rambozos this time around. Teams have swapped their spots. Skilladon and off the team, stunned out just yet. Skilladon, looking at his buff, does not have his ultimate, so Rambozos could go in here if they wanted, but the show up from Wubba is going to prevent any real aggression coming out from Rambozos.
Skilladon is going to have his back interrupted, but... Oh, this is bait, actually. They want a Duro here. Wubba's going to move forward. Doesn't have the blink. It was a good idea either way, but on the left-hand side, Ecliptium getting jumped on. Doesn't have to worry about Paradox, will mez and walk away, as Paradox was down to just 200 health, and going in would result in a kill for VishusNDelishus. Right now, as we mentioned, 2-0, 900 gold, 700 experience in favor of the blue team. I'm hungry. That's why I said in flavor. It happens.
Aduro's going to go ahead and back in the middle lane, giving off the team free reign to go ahead and clear this and push a wave onto the tower. Might lose a couple of minions to that. Might lose a couple of minions worth of gold to that, but nothing really of consequence. Solo lane still just battling it out. We're actually going to see off the team half rotate over here. We'll see just how far he's going to commit. Looks like he's going to clear blue buff for Heater.
Yeah, blue buff for Heater and blue buff for Ecliptium. And, blue buff for everybody, honestly. Everyone's clearing blue buff at the same time. No invades, no contests. So it's just going to be some passive farming. For now, Skilladon is going to get some poke in the middle lane onto him, but will clear the wave a little bit. So taking some gold, will want to return to base. There's nothing he imminently has to clear in the jungle, so he's just giving up map pressure here and not losing any farming time.
Ecliptium trying to figure out how to handle this left lane. Chris Pocket's staying here a lot, which is honestly probably something the Paradox needs, as Loki, ADC, probably needs to be babysat just a little bit more than your average hunter because he doesn't have tools. He's probably maxing the decoy. He is, as we see those minions fall to the wayside. But due to the nerf that happened a long time ago, not able to completely clear that out. So he's going to need a little bit of help from his support, even if that help is just presence.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, eventually he'll be able to have that clear. Actually, Paradox going in on the left-hand side, mez out, auto attack, so beautiful. Ecliptium pays it back, and that's exactly what needs to happen. So Paradox looks like he's not going to be winning the trades if Ecliptium plays like that, and a little bit more damage coming out. But in the middle lane, mid camps are going to be coming up rather soon. Skilladon is in the area, but he's getting some farm first, so his team might not be ready to contest these, and I wouldn't want to see them give up both mid camps for a second time, but looks like that's what might happen. Thor going up in the air. Wubba will get the left camp, and actually Thor's going to go down on the right hand side looking for off the team, who's able to get up in the air. We'll drop the ultimate, we'll get the damage, but oh my god, he survives just barely.
Missed that double tap. Team fight continues. Takani in the back line. Fiddy's going to take down the Zhang Kui. Somebody gets knocked in the air. Chris Pocket just barely going to escape from Wubba after getting knocked up. Skilladon surrounded right now, but a good jump into Aduro, and that's going to be the death for the monkey. Praise be to the damage over time.
Takani read that jump like a book, and Skilladon landed in the raw beam. That was incredibly impressive. Then the DOT secured the kill, as you mentioned. So that's a nice recovery from Rambozos. They get in the mid camp. They get 2 kills, and in terms of experience, they're up a lot. Looking at the right on the edge of 2,000. These team fights have not been going vicious, that team fight didn't go VishusNDelishus' way, which I guess just has to do with the fact that Fear No Evil was still down from the last time it was used.
Yeah, that Fear No Evil is going to be a huge turnaround for these teams.
Yeah.
Depending on when that's released, how it's released, and where it's released, Brett, we'll see entire team fights and possibly objectives turned around. VishusNDelishus started to have a tiny lead that we didn't really talk about because it's too early to say anything, but with that fight, Rambozos have directly tied it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very, very close. Ecliptium jumped on the left-hand side, but he's just going to try and return some damage with some auto attacks. But, it's just farming, really, right now for both teams. buffs are coming up from time to time. They're going to go clear those, but control of the game is in favor of Rambozos, and they're not using it to take any aggressive stances. They're using it just to get some farm and try and get as much pressure on Ecliptium as possible. Nice mez out, damage from So Beautiful, Intoxicate that gets the kill, but Wubba finds the return with the throwback, which is actually in favor of Ecliptium because Heartseeker loses stacks, Devil Gloves does not.
Very, very true. Paradox building that Heartseeker and taking a look at Ecliptium. He's on those Devo gloves, so stacks will remain. Monkey comes over here on the right-hand side looking Fitty very low. Good ultimate coming out from that Thor, knowing he had to do it, but he comes right back down. Looking to make Skeleton pay right here. There he is. More damage coming out from Thor, playing this very carefully. Skeleton with a beautiful juke is going to go ahead, jump over the wall. Aduro taken down by Heater. Takati and Fitty very low, can't fight. While off the team picks him up. Nobody could have called that one. Beautiful play by Kabal.
I mean, that was, you could hear an audible gasp from the people watching the game from that one. Beautiful play coming out there. Mid camps coming up soon. And it looks like they're going to be going to VishusNDelishus on the right-hand side, but Chris Pocket getting the camps on the left. So good on him to go over there solo, realize he wasn't in danger, and pick up those camps. Bacchus is in a good spot right now. Sometimes he can have trouble in the early game and really has to think very carefully about going in with his belly flop. But this game, Chris Pocket is doing quite well for himself, sitting level 10, even with his opponent, hasn't had any trouble. 5-3, VishusNDelishus are up in kills. 500 experience in favor, 200 is basically nothing, but 1,000 gold, you can work with that. It doesn't do too much, but it's all about where that advantage actually is.
Gold Fury pulled by the boys in blue over here. VishusNDelishus are going to do it. Rambozos seem like they don't even know, Cret.
Wow.
We have Rambozos clearing the blue buff. No wards, no vision, no Gold Fury. VishusNDelishus secure it. Now they want to fight. Wubba puts Fitty in the air. Skeleton puts him in the ground with help from Ecliptium. Chris Pocket raining down. Aduro's here as well. The whole team's here to party. Paradox gets the kill onto Wubba. That's going to be 3 dead for VishusNDelishus, 1 dead for Rambozos. While they might have been blind to the objective, they weren't blind in the fight. And that's going to take the lead that VishusNDelishus got from Gold Fury and cut it in half.
Off the team, going to use that ultimate to immune the belly flop. Will get some damage off, but not enough. And yeah, what happened there? It was a really good kill on a Thor.
Yup.
But it was a good kill that ended with 3 people grouped up, who immediately got absolutely demolished, and as a result of that loss of map pressure, well, left tower is going to get very low, probably go down. Paradox is a lot of in-hand damage. No, not quite going to go down. It's, wait, decoy? He's just going to tank it, gets the tower, tanks a shot, but able to get it in the mid lane. Aduro with the auto text will get his tower as well. That's 1,000 gold paid back. Gold Fury actually lost them 500 gold on the right-hand side. Heater's going to be in trouble.
Zhang Kui ultimate has been channeled. There's a good turnaround from Fitty, but he gets stunned out about 3/4 of the way through. Aduro's here to show up. Great snipe coming out from Takati. He's ticking down. Aduro gets the kill while Heater takes down Takati as well. So good play coming out from, honestly, both sides right there. They kind of both fall to the wayside. Mid lane, this tower is going down.
Yeah, so this is a payback play. They know that they're going to lose right tower. They know that they can't get there in time, so Vicious is just like, all right, we'll take mid tower, we'll pay something back. And trading mid for solo lane tower is actually in favor of VishusNDelishus because mid tower is a very important focus point for map pressure. This red buff is also going to go freely to Skeleton because, well, who can really contest? Actually, Aduro doesn't quite get it. So that red buff taken away from him, and with Aduro doing well this game, 3-1-3, he's a big part of his team. And on the left-hand side, Paradox could be in trouble. Messed out, set up into the Fear No Evil. The invisibility will be interrupted. He will have his assassinate to get some distance, and he's going to be able to get away. But that assassinate was definitely forced.
Without a doubt, having to use that ultimate to escape is never really good, but as you mentioned before, with the tension of the Heartseeker, definitely the right choice coming out from Rambozos ADC Loki right there. Chris Pocket going to help this lane go ahead and clear. Now that his tower's down, him and Aduro can really just sort of rotate as much as they want. Right hand side, Harpies go to Fitty. he finds himself into his own speed.
Yeah, Fiddy's able to get his speed buff this game, which is definitely a big improvement. It's staying even with an experience advantage in favor of the Rambozos. Their Loki is farming up properly. Aduro just finished his Book of Thoth, which is a big power spike. Probably about, let's say 130 magic power. Let me just take a look real quick. Yeah, so like 135 magic power before he starts stacking. His stacks are going to put him at 150, and that's it's going to be pretty good. But the question is, what can he do with that power spike? Is he going to be able to go into team fights, drop the bombs, get the damage, get the kills, or is he just going to keep farming? And I think this is a good point for Rambozos to start fighting, but an even better point when they finish their sovereignty.
Sovereignty just provides so much innate tankiness for the team entirely. So I really do like that point. Not only is it the power curve.
Actually, Wubba is 600 gold ahead of Chris Pocket. I don't really know how. That's more than half of their lead, but he's going to be an earlier sov timing for VishusNDelishus.
Assumably, we do have actives coming out from Wubba. He's picked up rank 2 Creeping Curse, which is called Creepier Curse. And at the moment, we have off the team taking a lot of damage from Aduro. He could dash here right now and finish the deal, but he doesn't know where the enemies are. They don't have deep wards, they just have safe wards. So that dash would just set off alarms and would be an extremely unsafe play to make. So good decision making right there from the middle laner for Rambozos.
Big rotation, and so sending someone back to base is pretty good. The reveal will show the rotation. Wubba could be in trouble. He is high level, but will he be high enough level to get out of this one? Stunned out, goes to sleep, and Wubba will get picked off. Given the kill to Chris Pocket, that probably should have gone to Loki. But either way, it's a nice pick. Can Rambozos do anything with it? Probably not. Wubba will finish his sovereignty there. And now Skildon's going to jump in. Fiddy could be in trouble here. Nice stun out from Aduro. Flaveway comes in. Beads out from Aduro. And a nice dash. Paradox is going to eliminate Skildon, but get turned around and blown up. Now Fiddy in the mix. Ecliptium jumped on the back end of that Aegis. Heater's going to arrive. Takati is there too. Aduro taken down by the Exorcism. Snipe comes through. Will hit Ecliptium directly in the face. Now Chris Pocket taking damage. Fog comes through. And Chris Pocket, will he survive? Expose evil. Chris Pocket, guess he was evil.
Chris Pocket gets carded. Denied entry, says to the Pockets, and he's going to go ahead and fall down for his second death of the game. 15.5 minutes in, folks. Tied in kills. Just about 1,000 gold difference going the way of VishusNDelishus. They're trying to make it bigger by pulling this Gold Fury. Up in the air is Fiddy. Berserker Barrage is on cooldown. He got knocked up during it. Takati, Mez, stunned, rooted, looking for the kills off the team, but not enough damage coming through. And that's going to be a good disengage coming from VishusNDelishus, forced by Rambozos.
Now, I love the attempt at the Gold Fury from V&D because Chris Pocket was going to respawn in 27 seconds and Wubba was already up and on his way. The Rambozos did exactly what they needed to do to stop that Gold Fury from happening. This game is going very, very even, and it's going to come down to either the fact that the Rambozos have been able to maintain a strong experience advantage, or the fact that, well, there's going to be an explosive team fight and somebody's going to come out on top, and that is going to set the momentum for the game. Damage onto Ecliptium, down to about half, but Aduro in trouble. Will dash away around the backside. Ecliptium in trouble. Nice Mez, get some protections. Thor comes down, interrupts the dash, and Ecliptium's going to fall in the Aegis, is off the team, now going up in the air. Skildon has his ultimate, just waiting for the right opportunity, but wants to go on Fiddy, it seems, and kills him. Heater with the Ghost before he gets out. Expose Evil onto Chris Pocket. Snipe comes through, is not going to connect. Paradox in a lot of trouble, and will be taken down by Skildon with the auto attacks. Now Takati going to run away. 2 members remain for Rambozos and 4 for VishusNDelishus, but there is sustain for the Rambozos.
VishusNDelishus again. Heater just pulling this Gold Fury time after time, and here comes Blue trying just to get them out of position, faking the Gold Fury fight. Love this move. It's all about the misplays. Takati up in the air. He's gonna fall and take a lot of damage. Finished off by the Zhang Kui. It's all about the misdirection. Let me correct myself. And 4 members of VishusNDelishus will pull this one. This time might be for real. Chris Pocket, 40% HP, ready to belly flop and hog.
Yeah.
And just his presence alone is enough to make them leave. Chris Pocket, great presence. Ecliptium trying to kill him.
Oh, that belly flop, though. This could actually be a kill. Roll
a big
in,
deal.
gets the slow. Eclipse Team doesn't have that much damage right now. He's had an awkward timing for AD carries because he's right before the Executioner. If it were done, he could have gotten that kill, but instead he's just going to have to sprint away. And the reason for the recall is because the fight was roughly 90 seconds ago. The ultimates were roughly coming off of cooldown. They didn't have the timer on Intoxicate, but if it was up, that was a quadra kill.
Very, very, very true. I like Chris Pocket just knowing the character, knowing the situation, knowing that he needs to show presence. Paradox in the invisibility. We get a blink from Skilladon, but onto a minion, not the Loki. That's unfortunately a misinput right there. And Skilladon's gonna find himself back in the jungle, stealing the blue buff.
I mean, he could probably get this. That Decoy is going to explode. Skilladon gets the blue. Sure, nice little victory. Now Chris Pocket is going to be rooted out. The team rotating in, but Thor's here as well. Ecliptium needs to not get caught. Wall's not going to connect. Stun's not going to connect. So Ecliptium should be okay. Heaters coming in off the teams in the air as well, and will go up in the air. The reveal was going to show Takati. It looks like Skilladon drops the Fear No Evil. It's going to connect on a Chris Pocket for just about a quarter of a second, but Thor comes down. Skilladon uses beads, jumps away, able to avoid the double tap, but Fiddy's can use a teleport, and beads reset. Damage on the Takati, and he's going to go down. Fiddy finds Skilladon, but Fiddy turned around upon, and here comes the burst off the Kumakarna ultimate. Shining Metal is going to get the kill. Ecliptium in the front, gets caught out with the Assassinate, but Recall Demons onto everyone. They're going to find Paradox, and off the team finds that kill, and now 4 members versus 2. We've said that before. This time, I think they actually could get the Gold Fury.
This is the 7th or 8th pull on the Gold Fury in the past 2 minutes, folks. Approaching the 20-minute mark. This one might look like it's good. Aduro's here. Heater zoning very well. Chris Pocket gets to come through over the wall, looking for the hog. He's stunned out right now. Ecliptium kills Aduro. VishusNDelishus go ahead and do secure the Gold Fury. That's going to be curtains for Chris Pocket. He can't jump over the wall. Slowed out by the Heater, the namesake himself. VishusNDelishus take the Gold Fury, take the lead. 4,400 gold, 20 minutes in.
So, I actually like Chris Pocket's play there. It's worth giving his life for the chance to steal a Gold Fury, especially when his team already has that experience advantage. Or they had it, because it just turned around really hard, and now it's 5,000 gold, 5,000 experience in favor of VishusNDelishus. But Aduro couldn't die, and he did. And so that was just 2 dead and a Gold Fury on top of a 3-for-1, which will result in a 5,000 gold lead appearing out of thin air. That's a really big play.
It's a gigantic play, and that's really the first real stable lead we've seen in this entire game, Kret. The game started off early in VishusNDelishus' favor, and then around 12-15 minutes, we saw a good turnaround. Rambozos were just playing lights out. Fiddy and mid laner Aduro were really making the right plays. After a couple of good deeks and moves from VishusNDelishus, they're now, like I said, they have the first real lead of the game 20 minutes in. And you see right now, folks, these are very seasoned players. They're now keeping the right side of the map heavy. They're making sure that they're not thinking about Fire Giant right this second, but they're thinking about Fire Giant. And they're also thinking about their opponent thinking about Fire Giant. So you have to stay heavy on this right side of the map. And these teams peppered with Masters and Diamond players certainly know what objectives are.
Very thoughtful play coming out. And Skilladon, we know what he's thinking as he jumps into the speed buff. Hogs, overhand smash, lands the crit, and will get the speed buff with another crit to confirm the kill. Skilladon now will move 10% faster? I think it's 20% even. It's fast. You go fast. Love speed buff.
Gotta go fast. Fiddy caught out just a little bit at the moment. Good wall could prevent Heater from really chasing too far. And right now, again, we see just a good organization, good congregation of players in this right-hand side. There really is no rhyme or reason to what they're doing. They're just trying to make something happen and make it happen on the right side of the map. Good pushing down this right-hand lane. VishusNDelishus, no buffs, just hard-pressed sieging coming through while Skilladon tries to zone out Fiddy in the jungle.
Yeah, nice zoning coming out here, and he's fighting over, you guessed it, speed buff, which is 20% by the way. New ultimate up in the air, just gonna soften people up, and now because of the lower health pools, this engage on speed buff is a little bit harder. Skilledon though gets comboed down. Fear No Evil is absolutely perfect. He gets it, and he's going to disrupt Fitty and keep himself alive. Great proactive play from Skilledon, but off the team needed to be a little bit more proactive as he's caught out and will fall to Takani Aduro. At least he should fall. There it is with the auto text, but Weakening Curse coming through. Heater with the Recall Demons. Takani is going to be a lot of trouble as Aduro is able to dash away, and that is going to eventually, there it is, Ghost gets the kill, be a dead Ra. 1-for-1 trade. We got the speed buff. Oh, it was Fitty. All right, not worth.
Heater on Zhonghui. 10-2. 9 kill streak, folks. This Zhonghui is absolutely doing work. Coming out of the solo lane. Just absolutely. He's the namesake of the team. We've seen a lot as... Actually, Wubba, he's going to be able to get out of here. So let's explore this. VishusNDelishus was originally a team created by Heater. It's where the famous Barracuda was discovered. They were... sponsored by Team Exertus or Exertus Esports.
Exertus Esports.
Later on, sponsored by Cognitive Gaming. Heater parted ways with the team, but that is his namesake. So he is the captain of VishusNDelishus, bringing the old name back with a whole new slew of members. Ecliptium, Wubba, also known as Met Yankee, off the team, also known as Kabam, and Skilledon. Just a laundry list of players, good known players in and out of the scene. Love to see this stuff come out of the Challenger Cup, Kret. This is really why we tune in each and every week.
And Skilledon, also known as Skilledon, is going to be going into a Deathbringer after Jotuns, which is,
of course,
it's a really cool build. I love seeing this on Hoonbots, and I think there are options for the way you build bots because of his crit passive allows sort of an auto attack heavier style. And so it's sort of like the Jotuns is, yeah, I'm going to be helpful to my team, and the crit chance from the Deathbringer is like, but I'm also going to murder people. And so I love that dynamic coming out from Skilledon. And it really is a one-item wonder, which is different for crit. Usually crit is built on so many other things, and the crit build we see for ADCs is totally dependent on all 6 items doing their role. For Hoonbots, you can just kind of get Deathbringer and be like, all right, that's good enough.
I'm a huge fan of this build on Hoonbots. It is core in my mind, and once again, VishusNDelishus love this Gold Fury. Aggressing one more time. Halfway down is the Gold Fury. Good ultimate coming out from Hoonbots.
Wow.
VishusNDelishus destroy the Gold Fury and also destroy 50 along the wayside. Ecliptium forced into the Aegis. His 2 members surround him. Here's the rest of his team, though. You got 2 separate fights, folks. One in the back against the Paradox, the other with the rest of them. Takani takes down Heater. Aduro's gonna fall to the hand of the support, and now you got 3 members of VishusNDelishus chasing down 2 Rambozos, but Ecliptium thinks better, doesn't want to go too deep, and that's going to be a 1-for-3 trade, plus the Gold Fury. VishusNDelishus are now leading by 7,500 gold. They are definitely in the driver's seat.
And honestly, the story of this game is 1-for-3 trade, plus the Gold Fury. It just keeps happening, and VishusNDelishus are definitely content to give up 1 player to get a lot more. I mean, to some extent, I think that's just the nature of Zhonghui. You're like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do damage to everyone. A really, really sizable chunk. It's respectable single target damage to 5 players, right? Like, that's he does the amount of burst that Kumba does to a single player to everyone, which is really, really strong. And he might die for it. I mean, he has to go deep. He loses his protections on the back end. He doesn't have any mobility in his kit, but it's fine because you can trust your team to clean up. At least you hope you can. And in this case, that has been true for Heater. He's been playing very well this game. He seems very comfortable in Zhonghui. He's bringing a lot to his team, and off the team on this Nuwa with a tremendous amount of magical power so far, 350 with no red buff. And that's not accounting for the Book of Thoth passive, which is going to add a bit more.
Girdle.
Or the Girdle. So Book of Thoth passive adding 22. Girdle increasing all of that by 20%. 20%, and then you also get penetration, and then you ult people in the face, and it does like 600 damage. So every team fight, you can pad your stats by 3,000. Shoutouts to Nuwa.
I absolutely love the Girdle build on Nuwa. I think it's fantastic. The early Shard, the late Thoth, all of it's fantastic. I like the Gem of Isolation. It's not exactly in the mindset of this build, which is all damage or bust. But I think the Gem of Isolation on Nuwa adds a different dynamic to the ultimate, and I'd like to see that come out as a potential 6th item. especially when you're gearing up to fight over team fights that can win or lose the game. We're approaching the 30-minute mark, Kret, and Rambozos down by about 8,000 gold can still come back with 1 or 2 great team fights.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think the Gem of Isolation Nuwa, and actually Nuwa is very far. Okay, gonna be fine. Bubble, not gonna be removed on Chris Pocket, but Gem of Isolation on Nuwa is really just a transition item. We see the same thing on Hoonbots, where it's like, alright, I can't carry this game, so I'm gonna build a Shifter Shield, or an Urchin, or a Magi's instead of the Deathbringer. And sometimes you do have to do that, but Ecliptium on the left-hand side is applying a lot of pressure here. He's gonna force out a half rotation from Maduro, who's just sort of being in the area just in case and splitting his pressure between the Fire Giant side and the Apollo, but really it's on Paradox to win this 1v1, and he doesn't seem to be doing that easily. Getting poked out, down to 40%, and no lifesteal.
Looking like this could be the next big fight. Rambozos trying all that they can to stop it. Off the team eliminates the Paradox with the help of Ecliptium in the left-hand lane. That's the power of globals, folks.
Yeah.
Ecliptium couldn't finish the deal, but Nuwa could. Wish we could see how much that hit for, because with that amount of power at the moment, Kret, that's hitting for a lot. Fire Giant being aggressed on, about 50% down. 4 members of Rambozos here. They're the only ones alive. While meanwhile, Apollo splits in the back. Fiddy comes down along with the Monkey ultimate. Aduro eliminates the Monkey right away. Heater doing his job, taking down the mid laner. Takati very low. Fiddy very low. Off the team, but he can be fine. Wubba takes down Takati. Wubba takes down Fiddy. Support or nah? Chris Pocket's gonna run away with his tail between his legs. 4 members alive for VishusNDelishus. 4 members dead for Rambozos. V&D take the Fire Giant, and they take the mid lane.
It feels like at every level of play, people do not respect the AoE damage from the landing on Kubakarna's ultimate. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna chase, and then you get knocked back. You're like, I forgot that happens. And there it actually just got Wubba a double kill, which was so cool to watch. Man, somebody call Adonis. We need an instant replay. But so anyway, on the right-hand side, grouping up is VishusNDelishus. They did lose Skilladon there, and you know what? We gotta give props to Skilladon. He used his ultimate proactively to stop any chance of a steal. The ideal steal would be Bacchus jumping in and using the hog to get the objective and the knockup to secure it, but he can't jump into CC and then get the objective. He will be stunned out, and actually off the team, taken down by Paradox really big. Heater's rather low, Ecliptium having to run away. Wubba is the only member of the team with actually decent health. Heater's gonna turn around, but he doesn't find the card, he doesn't find the heal. Ecliptium's gonna ult out. That was a big play for Rambozos.
Yeah, Wubba is taking a lot of aggression. There's all 5 members of Rambozos. Wubba was not going to make it out of this one.
Though.
Passive or not, and Skilladon here in the wrong space at the wrong time. VishusNDelishus just bit off more than they could chew, Kret. They took the mid Phoenix, they took the left Phoenix. Well, Apollo took that one earlier on. They wanted to get right as well. Overstaying your welcome right there. VishusNDelishus still doing well, still have 2 Phoenixes up, most importantly on the left side of the map, but that was a very haphazard play going the way of the blue team, and it's going to give Rambozos a free Fire Giant.
Gold Fury. But
yeah, Gold Fury, my mistake.
So I want to talk really quick about this Hydra's Lament on Hoonbots, because I adore it. So the first thing is 50 damage goes into your abilities, totally cool. It's one of the higher damage items. You've got 75, you've got Transcendence, which is like 95, and then you've got the 60s, but 50's not bad. It maxes his cooldown reduction, which is totally nice, and it gives him a passive that a lot of people underestimate. Looking at his build, it's gonna add about 100 damage to his combo before protections, but honestly, that's a lot. I mean, just imagine if Hoonbots got an extra 100 damage on his overhand smash. That's basically what this item does, because he will be hitting that auto attack. So I really like the Hydra's Lament on Skilladon, and I think maxing your cooldown reduction on Hoonbots is really great. Now we just need to see him make sure he can stay alive long enough to use that second rotation.
Yeah, I mean, I again, you just talked it to death, but I love the Skilladon build, honestly. Yeah. Hydra's Lament, otherwise known as Laz's Lament, because it's virtually only purchased by Laz's on Loki. I love this item. I think it brings a lot to the table. Fiddy's just completely annihilated over here. Burst damage and control coming out from Skilladon, the Monkey on Hoonbots, and off the team with that minion into the burst combo. So That's just going to eliminate Fiddy for 50 whole seconds. That's the danger of being caught out this late, folks. You can't be gone for 50 seconds, and that's going to open up an entire siege for this right-hand side one more time. VishusNDelishus have the Nuon minions. They have the tower tanked by the support. Chris Pocket's going to go and annihilate everybody with that Intoxicate. Heater's very low. He's going to fall to a Duro, but that doesn't mean the rest of his team will. Scale it on, takes down Talkity, jumps over the wall to slow Chris Pocket. They're going to take down the support. Not quite. There it is. Support for support. The Paradox takes down Skeledon in the front. 3 versus 2 right here. The Paradox trying to find something. He's invisible. Gets off the team. This is Loki late game, folks. Aduro's going to turn around, kill Ecliptium. Rambozos coming out to play in the last minutes of this match.
Yeah, but there's not enough pressure on left lane. The Phoenix will spawn and then die to literally 10 fire minions. So it didn't have a chance. That poor thing. In the middle lane, Kumbhakarna chasing Loki. We've all chased Loki before. We all know how this ends. He turns invisible and runs around forever. And it looks like Wubba's going to go for the better part of Valor. Ooh, does he have Blink? He doesn't have Blink. He doesn't have Blink at all. He's just going to be having a Weakening Curse. And just going to be chasing Loki around because honestly, he doesn't have anything better to do.
We've seen this so many times in so many games that Loki plays just, I'm over here, as his tagline is. Goes invisible, chases around the entirety of the map. This time, though, Bubba understands that he doesn't want to chase and just gives it up.
So here's the thing, though. I like Wubba going for it because there's 2 things. One, is Paradox going to lazy back? Because he totally might have. And 2, Wubba doesn't have anything better to do. There's no threat to his team, but there's also none of his team alive. So he doesn't have anywhere to be. He can't take any jungle buffs. You might as well just chase Loki around and hope for the lazy back. Didn't happen this time, but what if it did? It would be you to actually cleanse a Heartseeker. Totally worth it. Now Thor in a bit of trouble, will be slowed out, uses beads, and that's going to immune the ultimate from Wubba on that Kumbhakarna. Dash away is a Duro. Ecliptium in the area in the middle lane actually has a red pot going because he's anticipating that this will be the end. The mid Phoenix is the only one up. It's half health, half damage, and the Fire Giant is available. F-Dot, it's going to be some aggression onto Chris Pocket. Red pot popped by Paradox, and they're popping potions because this is probably going to be the last fight of the game.
This is the team fight, Cret. Right now, the lead, 12,599 gold. VishusNDelishus. 7,500 experience as well, but everybody's level 20, doesn't matter. Either way, lead or not, Rambozos, if they win this fight, they win the game. It's enough time with the respawn timers in order to take the game. So we see Fire Giant being aggressed on by VishusNDelishus, but rather timidly. Fiddy up in the air, looking for the initiation, and that's the fight. Lands on Ecliptium, gets the double stun, but he's immediately mezzed out. Flips away with the hammer, tries to find something else. Now VishusNDelishus on the aggression.
The Titan, look at it. It's 40%. That actually could go down. It's just Paradox. Fiddy's going to be taken down really quick by off the team. Now Chris Pocket in trouble. Will be taking damage from the ultimate from Heater, but he's going to go down. Jumping forward, Skeledon using the beads reset. Gets a teleport. Nice Fear No Evil, but 2 Aegis amulets come out. Good Fist of the Gods going to buy him some time, but gets sniped out. Ecliptium finds a Duro, but the Paradox returns the kill with Skeledon. The Titans just at 20%. Ecliptium doesn't have an ultimate to end the game. Nuwa doesn't have her. Nobody has an ultimate.
Ecliptium just crits down the Paradox. Loki down. Talkity and the support. Only one's VishusNDelishus.